He looked pretty sick in the first 10 minutes or so, though, Mark.
Yeah, Huey, he went down to a couple of knocks, but like Huey always does, he gets back up again. Another player that is looking for a big game today.
Well, as they stand at the moment, with the Kiwis playing from left to right, the Kiwis will have the wins in the first half. Just a question of, in fact, if that's the way they play. But it looks as though we're going to see the Maori haka here. We didn't see it in the third test at Wigan, but it looks like it's been reinstated. Sam Stewart. So that proves popular with the local crowd here at Carcassonne as the Kiwis perform the traditional Maori haka. And the reserve players leave the field, and very shortly we'll have action here in the first rugby league test between New Zealand and France. Last time the Kiwis were here was in 1985, 4 years ago, and they won both the tests with France not scoring any points, in fact. So the Kiwis will have the advantage of quite a strong wind in this first half. So the tactics, no doubt, will be to clear the ball deep down into French territory, Mark, with that strong wind behind them.
I'd say so. It's the first 20 minutes of a test match. We get the ball down there and hopefully wait for France to make a few mistakes and then try and capitalise on that. But the first 20 minutes of a test match is a bit of tension and a bit of sorting out to be done.
So Robin Whitfield signals time on, and the first rugby league test is underway, and the ball bounces forward from Sam Stewart. So a knock on early on by the Kiwis. In fact, Stewart has stayed down. A little bit of indecision there, and Stewart appeared to take an early knock. So not a good start for the Kiwis.
I think there was a bit of a misjudgment there with the wind, and with it being such a strong wind, the ball held up. It looked as though it was going deep, and I think Gary Freeman, Sam Stewart, a bit of indecision there, and he's copped a bit of an injury.
Looks like he might have a knock to the back. It is a strong wind, and it just held up a little there, and both Freeman and Stewart were a little bit indecisive, and France will have the put-in eventually to the scrum. Just picking up one or two of the players for you, the French players. Number 7 there is Patrick Dontard. Let's have another look at this. You'll see that it holds up in the breeze. A bit more than a breeze, really. And Stewart bending down to pick it up, and he finally gets a bit of a knee in the back, I think, as he went down to cover that ball, but he's back into his position in the scrum. So France have the put-in. They win the first scrum. Chiming in as their fullback, Peugeot, right out in centre field. Handed up to Vernon B, number 13. He's the loose forward. Ontar is in there, but the Kiwis are offside early on and are penalised. This should really be a gift, 2 points for the French, as the penalty is given right out in front and just a matter of 15 metres out from the posts. So Gilles Dumas, the man who made the kick-off at halfway just a couple of minutes ago, will kick for goal.
That's all Robin Whitfield stamping his authority straight away on the game. He's pinned the Kiwis back for 5 yards, which he has to do really, I suppose, in a test match. And you see he wants an open game.
So Dumas kicks the first points of the game, and just a couple of minutes into the match, it's France ahead by 2 points to nil. The penalty goal kicked by Gilles Dumas. So the Kiwis haven't had the ball to play with at all yet. This is Kelly Shelford from halfway. France in possession, 15 metres out from their own line, and another penalty against the Kiwis. So that's 2 in just a couple of minutes. Infringement there at the play the ball. Well, there's an example of how strong the wind is. The kick from Daniel Price, I think, almost went backwards.
Yeah.
So France to take the tap, still 15 metres out from their own line. Kiwis not really into the game as yet. Robbo, number 8, in possession. Once again, the loose forward, Terry Burnham-Bee, who in fact was going to be the hooker until the late change was made. And it's a nice kick by Gilles Dumas. But at least the Kiwis should, at this stage, get a hold of the ball. Gary Freeman feeding the scrum. Big shove from the French, comes out to Shelford. Here's Tony Kemp, who played so well at fullback in the third test against Great Britain. He gets an early touch of the ball. Darrell Williams takes it out. Here's Hugh McGann. 8 metres on the Kiwi side of halfway. And the penalty goes against the French. Terry Burnham-Bee, the loose forward, knocking the ball away. And so this time it's the Kiwis with a penalty. 5 metres on their own side of halfway. 2 points to nil, France ahead. Not a great kick by Darrell Williams, but at least it's across the touchline. Put on the mark by Dwayne Mann. Brent Todd takes it up. 12 metres in French territory. Mann to Freeman. To Faimalo, oh, and it goes loose. Freeman snaps it up again, gives it back to McGann, gives it away to Shelford. Faimalo now in possession. The Kiwis getting out of that one okay. Here's Kurt Sorensen. Still 2 points to nil. Dumas, a penalty goal for France. Here's Sam Stewart, who seems well recovered from that early knock. That's the quarter line as Mann takes it out. Now Freeman again. Shelford. Good solid tackle made on Dean Bell, and he's down. So another Kiwi is down. The referee wants the ball played, I think. Wants it played quickly too. So Dean Bell remains on the deck as the kick comes from Shelford. And it's nicely handled by Peugeot. It looked as though he'd misread it for a moment, but somehow he managed to balance on his fingertips. And the Kiwis again are offside. So Robin Whitfield is certainly leaving his mark at the early stages.
Yes, he is, Grant, yeah. I think Dean Bell copped a couple of knees in the back again. But the French are coming back well here. We've applied a first bit of pressure there. Good kick by Kelly Shelford, and Chase. The French playing well.
Dumas hands it up to Ontar. Kiwis have the wind in the first half, remember. Here's Ontar. Gives it up to Cabastani, Didier Cabastani. That's the last tackle now as France get to within 8 metres of halfway. Little kick and chase, well read by Freeman. And Gary Freeman takes the tackle, 10 metres on the Kiwi side of halfway. Handed away by Iro up to Kemp. Good solid defence by the French in the first 5 minutes of the game. Here's Asini Faimalo. One of the big successes of this Kiwi tour party in Great Britain and France. Now Brent Todd. No gaps yet appearing.
The French defence is very good.
Sam Stewart turns it back to Freeman. McGann up to Williams, lobbing it out to Kevin Hero. Got out of one, got out of a couple more. Now Sorensen. Sorensen to play at 8 metres on the French side of halfway. Now the kick from Freeman. Nice kick too from Gary Freeman. Stabbing it through. And the scrum will be set about 15 metres up. Well, so far the French defence has been excellent.
Yeah, very good. Typical of the first 20 minutes of a test match, but been quite impressed. New Zealand have had a couple of goes now. Tried to break with a blindside move. Kevin Hero had a bit of a run. And the French are quite impressive so far.
Only one member of this French side played in the game midweek match for Midi-Pyrenees. That's the prop forward Jean-Luc Rabot, number 8. So the rest of them are fairly new to the Kiwis. Cyril Pong from the left wing. Striding in. Plays it to Dumar. Here's Burnham B. He's been very prominent in the first 7 or 8 minutes of this game. The loose forward. Dumar again. French making a bit of ground on the right wing side. Here's Terry Boutignol. He's the other prop forward. He'll play it to Patrick Ontar. The kick again from Dumar. Plenty of time here for Hero. Made good ground too, Kevin Hero. So he'll play it just on the Kiwi side of halfway to McGann. Todd back quickly, but he dropped it and knocked on by Brent Todd. Dean Bell, number 3, getting up. He seems to have recovered from that knock in the back. Ten minutes gone in the game, and the French have it. Here's Peugeot, the fullback, in on the blind side. Rather a lethargic start to the match by the Kiwis. Once again, Burnham B goes for a run. 2 points to 0. France lead here in Carcassonne. This is the first test, transferred from Perpignan. Here's a chance for the French. On top. Links up nicely with Price. And the French have a try. The Kiwis not making the tackles. And Daniel Price scores between the posts, and it's 6 points to 0. Well, some lovely lead-up work there by France. Let's have a look at it as they change direction here. Dumar has the ball. Transferred it to Kabastani. Tackle missed there by Todd. Freeman took the player, but it quickly went to Ontar. And a good little run from the halfback here, and he was able to link with Daniel Frace, number 4. He stepped inside Kemp, and one of the Kiwi players tripped over the Tony Kemp, and Frace through virtually untouched, and that was a good try.
Good try by the French there. Once you miss a couple of tackles, once they're through the line, that's it, they're away. Conversion is made by Dumar, and suddenly the Kiwis find themselves 8 points down. They caught us on the blind side there. They were 4 against 3, and they converted. So 11 minutes gone in the first half. The Kiwis with the strong wind behind them, down by 8 points to 0. France in possession right on the quarter line. Another big charge from Rabot, but the whistle's gone. Slipped the pass nicely to Peugeot. Jean-Luc Rabot, but the pass was just marginally forward. And so the Kiwis have the foot into the scrum. Looking a little rattled at the moment by this French team, who lead by 8 points to 0. And the penalty here to the Kiwis.
So here's Darryl Williams. Now the Kiwis should be able to mount an attack from this position. They'll have possession 20 metres out from the French line. Gary Mercer. Haven't seen much of him so far, but the French tackling is solid. Here's McGann charging through. Held up just 2 metres short. Kiwis looking good in attack here. Now man up to Freeman. Freeman slips it nicely to Sorensen. Back to Freeman. Could open up to the left. Here's Kelly Shelford. But once again the tackle made. 8 metres short of the line. Shelford plays it to Mercer. Mercer held up 3 metres short. Man up to Freeman, to Shelford. Transferred quickly. Chance here on the right, but a bad pass from Williams in front of Kevin Ero. And far too far in front of him for him to be able to run onto it. And so the chance for the moment anyway is lost.
It's a bit hard here to do these floaty passes with the wind as strong as it is, but the idea was there, and Kevin would have been away if the ball was thereabouts.
8 points to 0. France lead. Ontar feeding the scrum. This is the fullback Peugeot. Dumas. Well taken by Hugh McGann, who's making a lot of early tackles for the Kiwis. The captain, number 13. Once again, the pass has slipped away to Pong. And Kemp went under, wasn't held. And he got up and went again. So France running it out from right near their own goal line. Here's Ontar. Slips it up to Rabot, number 8. 10 metres now on the Kiwi side of halfway. Once again Ontar to Duma. Ontar again. Pass knocked down, recovered by Burnenby. And he's taken by Dean Bell and Darryl Williams, the two Kiwi centres. Here's Boutignol. Just near halfway. Costa Price. Here is the other centre, three-quarter, Porquet. And once again, the French making ground as Dean Bell was able to make the tackle. Out to Burnenby. Slipped it to Kademi. In possession is Kabastani, number 11. That's the last tackle. Peugeot takes it out. The kick comes from Duma. Oh, and it's worked perfectly. Everything going right for the French at the moment. Lovely little kick by Duma. And it bounced across the touchline.
Kiwis are certainly a bit rattled at the moment, and once these Frenchmen get on attack, they're very hard to stop.
15 minutes gone in the first half. 8 points to 0. A try and 2 goals. Gary Freeman takes it out of the scrum. But the French have been penalised. Something of an all-purpose stadium here. It's got a running track, it's got a cycling track, and of course the rugby league pitch in the middle. Brent Todd slipped it nicely to Dwayne Mann. Mann is held and taken by Kabastani. Didier Kabastani, number 11. Sorensen. As you can see, the French tackling is very solid.
Very keen at the moment.
Here's Faimalo, flipped it up to Freeman. Cross to Stewart. Gap appears for Sam Stewart. And flipped the pass to Dean Bell, 5 metres on the French side of halfway. Now Freeman linking up with Darryl Williams. Good run coming from Williams. And the pass to Mercer was lost forward. I think Gary Mercer was quite expecting that pass.
No, Darryl was trying to slip the ball out there.
So worrying times here for the Kiwis, down by 8 points to 0, not making too much impression. And the penalty this time goes against New Zealand. Robin Whitfield handing out a number of early penalties in the game. Number 4, the try scorer, Daniel Price. Across to Dumar. It's better tackling from the Kiwis. Stewart and McGann. Once again, the French changing direction. Another strong run by Bernabé. Ontar to Dumar. Fairly dangerous out in the centres. This time Dean Bell, number 3, makes the tackle for the Kiwis. Price to play it to Kabastani. Fullback Peugeot likes to get involved in play. He's been in plenty of it. Nice little kick through by Dumar, but Freeman read it well. Stepping out of a couple of tackles. And this time France offside. So a lot of early stoppages in this game. The France lead by 8 points to 0 after 18 minutes. That's a good kick by Shelford, using the wind to good effect on this occasion. So the Kiwis will have this just 18 metres short of the line as Mann puts it on the mark, gives it up to Iro. Now Mann across to Todd. 5 or 6 metres short of the line now, the Kiwis. Dwayne Mann up to Faimalo. Faimalo struggling towards the line, slipped out of one tackle. It was high from Dumar. And so now Mann. And once again, the French are offside. The Kiwis may take a quick tap here. Gary Freeman just settling it all down. So now Dwayne Mann with the tap. Gary Mercer. Good strong run again from Gary Mercer, who is man of the series for the Kiwis in the Test series against Great Britain. And a little knock on there by Dwayne Mann. So another chance gone.
Yeah, a few little mistakes here from the boys. Prime attacking position here, 10 yards out, and Dwayne unfortunately knocked the ball on.
Ontar into this defensive scrum for France. Ratier, the winger and captain. French still inside their quarter line. They lead by 8 points to 0, almost halfway through the first half now.
That's good defence. New Zealand's moving up quicker now.
Kabastani, number 11. He's been prominent in the first 20 minutes. Another penalty given. Once again, the Kiwis infringing in the tackle. And Dumar's kick does go backwards this time. But it's safely into touch all the same. Patrick Ontar. Across to Dumar is Frace. Kiwis not seeing a lot of possession so far in the match. Ontar. This is Rabot, the prop forward. Now on to Dumas. Nice little pass again to Burnenby. And it required a good tackle by Gary Freeman, as that nice little pass was slipped to the loose forward. Here's Pont. On top. Good slick passing again. Here's a chance for the French. Debay, the second row forward. And a head-high tackle ruled against the Kiwis this time.
A good tackle there from Dean Bell. The French are flying high at the moment, but Dino came across from the other centre and stopped that movement. The referee regarded it a bit high, and they'll be having a shot for goal.
Well, most of the good play so far has come from the French. They've looked very slick in attack.
They have been. The French have always been very, very good with the ball, and once their tails are up, they're very, very hard to stop. And they're slipping the ball. We're making 2 or 3 tackles, but we're missing that 4th one. And they're also testing us each side of the ruck. They're going one way, then going the other way. It's something that we'll have to get sorted out. But I do see us creeping slowly back into this game.
Gilles Dumas kicking into the wind, remember. Not a bad looking kick. That's a good kick indeed. It's a strong wind. And Gilles Dumas read it particularly well and has given the French a lead of 10 points to 0 now, and 23 minutes gone in the first half.
Yes, 10-0. No one would have expected the French to be up 10-0, but that's what it is. I don't think the clock's working too well over here at the moment.
No. Run back by Rapier, the captain. Kiwis will start to get frustrated shortly. They haven't really had a lot of the ball, as I said before, and the French have had enough, and they've done well with it. Boutignol, number 10. That's better tackling from the Kiwis. In hard and early. Last tackle. So let's have a look for Dumas. No, in fact, it's going the other way to Ontar. Bounces for Tony Kemp. Kemp made a lot of play in the 3rd test from this position. He's got out of 1 tackle. And a good little break there from Tony Kemp. That's the 10-metre line in French territory. Here's Gary Mercer, who's had a very good tour. Hasn't scored a lot of tries, but has played very strongly. Brent Todd to play in centre field. Here's Mann. Now Freeman. Up to Stewart. Looking for Freeman. Finally went to Shelford. And it was straightened up by
Sorensen.
Kurt Sorensen. Here's Kelly Shelford with a bit of room to move. Just couldn't slip the pass to Dwayne Mann. Right in centre field, about 15 metres out on the last tackle. Up to Sorensen. Here's Dean Bell, and Bell's hands let him down this time. And the French have possession again through Cabestany. Boutignol, number 10. Now Ontar up to Burnenby again. Ten metres out from the 22. Here's the hooker, Kadami. Cabestany, once again, he's been prominent. And the tackle completed by Kurt Sorensen over the top. Last tackle. Here's Dumas. Bounces down to Iro. Iro gliding his way through, slipped the pass nicely to McGann. McGann couldn't give it away to Kemp. And the French once again back in possession. Now Dumas to Burnenby. This is Frace, the man who scored the try. Kiwis simply haven't been able to retain possession.
No, we don't deserve to to be close to the fringe at the moment with too many mistakes, drop ball, trying to push the pass.
Can't see him at the moment, but Francis Leota is already warming up for the Kiwis.
I think there's going to be a change. He's going to inject Francis into the game straight away. Francis had a great tour. And
here's Burnhamby away again. He's got support from Dumar. Now Dumar. Ball still there. And Paul gets the try. Well, once again, it was set up by the loose forward, Terry Burnhamby. And the Kiwis were always stretched. There were one or two heroic tackles made. Let's have another look. And it was just a straight break made here. He slipped inside Dwayne Mann. And this long run here from Burnhamby. He had good support from Dumar. Delayed the pass nicely. Kemp made a good tackle here. But Dumar fired it back, and there were any number of French players in support. And it fell for the hooker, Kademi. And I think he might have just about been able to get there himself, but he found Cyril Pont, the left winger, and goodness me, 14 points to 0.
Yeah, they made the break there. All it was just slipped through the line, one missed tackle, and they scored a try. We're really going to have to do some work now.
Dumar attempting to convert. And that's about the first mistake he's made in the game. But France really flying high, 14 points to 0. The Kiwis have made a substitute. Sam Stewart has gone. He took that knock in the very first minute, you'll remember. And Francis Leota, you can see him there to the right of picture, number 16. He is on the field. So 11 minutes out from half-time. The Kiwis, remember, have the wind. But they are down by 14 points to 0. Forget about the clock, that's not working. The scoreboard is, though. Good solid tackle made that time on Philippe Forquet. Boutignol. And that's a mistake made by France. They've lost possession, and Leota comes up with it. So let's see if the Kiwis can make something of this. They have possession just out from the quarter line in French territory. First man to take it is Todd. The Kiwis really need to hit back fairly shortly here, down by 14 to 0. Now Mann to Faimalo.
Good run, Sini.
And offside against France. Standing up far too flat. This is certainly kickable. Whether, in fact, the Kiwis want to or not is another thing. Kelly Shelford has the ball. No, they're going to tap it. Giving it to Dean Bell. Bell getting pretty close to the line. And Shelford, in fact, was running at his shoulder. And Bell didn't quite see him to the left. Now Mann pops it up to Sorensen. He gives it back to Shelford. Now Freeman. Here's Faimalo. Freeman carrying on, looking towards the blind side, but the tackling still remaining strong. Now Shelford, cross to Bell. Bell looks for his support, has it in the form of Kelly Shelford. Shelford running out, he'd be calling Mercer back in field. Mercer pops it up to Freeman. This is better from the Kiwis, they're keeping it alive. Here's Leota. French defence is holding, 15 metres out. Now Mann. Freeman calling Sorensen inside. He popped it up nicely to Faimalo. And it's the last tackle, 6 metres out. Now Mercer up to Sorensen. Here's Bell across to Kevin Ero, and the Kiwis have their first try after good lead-up work. And on the last tackle, they kept it moving, and Kevin Ero scores in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, it was a good ball there by Kurt Sorensen, or Dean Bell, I think. Good lead-up work. We needed that. Keeping the ball alive.
So Kevin Ero scores the Kiwis' first try, and it's taken a long time in coming, 31 minutes in fact. Here is the lead up to it, as Gary Freeman gave it up to Kurt Sorensen. He flipped it to Faimalo, and he took the tackle here. Now, it was the last tackle on the Kiwis, and so they had to do something. You can see Freeman looking to the right there. He really is the marshal for all these moves. He took, well, in fact, it was Sorensen who took the pass, and a nice long pass out to Dean Bell, and missing out Kemp across the bows of Tony Kemp, and it was Kevin Ero who scored the try. No goal from Kelly Shelford. It was from a long way out. But at least the Kiwis have got points on the board. It's, as I say, taken 31 minutes to happen.
We need a good start from the kickoff now and a bit of organisation. Possibly a kick down and keeping them down there with 9 minutes to go to half-time, and then we have to have a rethink at half-time to see how we're going to get right back into this game.
Two tries to one so far. Price and Pont have scored for France. Ero for New Zealand. Now Hugh McGann. Here is the try scorer, Kevin Ero. Hard man to put down. Playing today in his 13th international at just 21 years of age. Here's the veteran of the side, Kurt Sorensen. Kelly Shelford now. Francis Leota, good run from him. Quickly played. Kiwi starting to look better now. The kick coming from Kemp. Lobbing it down behind Ratier.
Great kick and chase there. It's just what we need. They're 5 yards out from their line now.
Good swarming defence by the Kiwis, keeping the French pinned. You can see by the flag in the background just how strong the wind is. That's 3 tackles gone, and really the French have made no progress whatsoever. Dumas. That's 5, so last tackle. And Rabot to play. Back to Dumas. Oh, he's been taken. Ball goes loose and hacked away by Pont. So it's a handover where the kick was made. This is handy for the Kiwis. They're only 15 metres out. Mann plays it to Freeman. Up to Kurt Sorensen. Slips it up to Freeman again. Freeman to play it to Dwayne Mann. Good strong run again by Brent Todd. Running it across towards centre field. Now Mann. Out to Shelford. To Bell. Shelford doubling round again. Kemp is in. No room that way, so Tony Kemp comes back the other way. Slips it up to Freeman. Here's Mann. Faimalo. They were waiting for Asini Faimalo though. Kiwi starting to play with a little more urgency now. Freeman turns it back to Leota. Smashing his way downfield again. Mann again. Freeman. Todd. I think the Kiwis might have another 6 there. That might have been the ruling from Robin Whitfield.
One of the French men that's going back to 1. 10 yards out. We should be going close here.
So the Kiwis have any number of tackles here. They can manoeuvre it round a bit. Here's Faimalo battling his way towards the line. He's held just a metre short. The crowd, I don't think, picked up the ruling from Robin Whitfield. They thought that the tackles had run out, but they haven't, in fact. Here's Kemp. Battling his way out of as many tackles as he can. He got it away to Freeman. Chance here for the Kiwis. Ero's taken very high, and the penalty is given. Tackle made by Dumas, quickly taken by McGann. Up to Mercer. Good period of attack here from the Kiwis, but once again the French defence holding as Tony Kemp has it. Really testing the French defence as Mann gives it up to Todd. Three minutes out from half-time. Back to Leota. Leota plays it to Mann. Now Freeman. Here's Shelford, and Kelly Shelford is through, and he scores under the posts. After good lead-up work by the Kiwis, they'd hammered away there for 3 or 4 minutes, and finally it's Kelly Shelford scoring the try, and the Kiwis now very much back in this game.
Yeah, Gary Freeman got Kelly Shelford was motoring onto that ball, stepped on the inside, and hopefully another 6 points for the Kiwis there. But good work here. Dwayne Mann onto Gary Freeman. Kurt Sorensen run the block. Kelly off his left foot and in under the post.
So a lovely try there scored by Kelly Shelford. He should be able to convert this to make it 14-10. Just a reminder of this telecast, not only through Television New Zealand, but throughout screen sport throughout Europe. Now 2 tries each in this first test in Carcassonne. France led by 14-0 at one stage. But the tourists have come back with tries by Iro and Shelford. Now Shelford attempting to convert his own try, does that, and it's 14 points to 10, and we're about a minute out from half-time, so that'll give the Kiwis some heart. They were really looking down the barrel there at one stage.
14-0, yeah. But the last 10 minutes have all been the Kiwis. Have been attacking very, very well. The French have held out reasonably well, but there was only a matter of time before we were able to break through, and a good try there by Kelly Shelford. Just what we needed a minute before half-time.
Kelly Shelford scored tries in the first and third tests against Great Britain. And here he has one in the first test against France. So not only does he do the goal-kicking duties, he's able to cross the line as well as Dumas. Restarts down to the Kiwi skipper, Hugh McGann, calling Iro in again. He's not an easy man to tackle. Kevin Iro almost inevitably makes his way through the first tackle. Now Mann up to Kurt Sorensen. This is a good clean break. Up to Gary Freeman, and Freeman's away. Can he go all the way? And yes, he can. What a great try. Gary Freeman. After the scintillating burst made by Kurt Sorensen, and Gary Freeman's little legs pumping for dear life, and he just made it. What an excellent try. And it's 14-all.
Oh, that all started from the run from Kevin Iro from the kickoff. Big, hard, strong run, and Kurt Sorensen running strongly onto that ball and on the inside to Gary Freeman. Straight from kickoff.
Well, the Kiwi supporters, there aren't too many of them here, but they've at last got something to yell about. It, as you say, it came right from the kickoff here, where it was taken by Hugh McGann. And a nice run here made by Kevin Iro once again. Such a big, strong player. And look as he hands a couple off. And then look for Kurt Sorensen.
He's running now. Kurt's getting ready to run now. Runs hard onto the ball, steps off the left. Shows a bit of speed, still got the old speed. Into Gary Freeman, and he's gone. The centre come pretty quick after him. Takes him about a couple of metres before the line. But his momentum takes him over.
So Gary Freeman just made it. We can tell you that Kelly Shelford converted the try from a handy position, and it's all happening because the half-time whistle has also sounded. 16 points to 14 then at half-time. So just a quick review of what we've seen in the first half. France ran out to a 14-0 lead with tries by Frace and Pont, 3 goals by Dumas to make it 14-0. And the Kiwis have hit back in the last 10 minutes with a try firstly by Iro, then Shelford. He converted that one himself. Then Gary Freeman scored a try right on half-time that Kelly Shelford converted. So almost unbelievably, the Kiwis, after being behind by 14 points to 0 at half-time and playing with the wind, have gone to a lead of 16 points to 14. We'll be back here in Carcassonne.
And we're looking at the moment, and Tony Kemp will play a vital part in the second half. There's a lot of pressure on him.
So we're just about ready for the start of the second half, with New Zealand leading by 16 points to 14. as we return now to our commentators at Carcassonne, and that's Grant Nisbet and Mark Elia.
Anonymous there, looked as though we could be going into half-time 14 points down. But we've got a lead now, and hopefully we can go on with it.
One or two of the French spectators singing the La Marseillaise in the grandstand here. Not a big crowd. I suppose a few people have been thrown out, rather, by the match being transferred away from Perpignan. Kelly Shelford is going to have Dean Bell hold the ball for him. So away we go then in the second half, as Kelly Shelford gets it underway, and it's awkward for Terry Bernabé, the loose forward, who was so impressive for France in the first half, but he finally managed to recover it. Played to on top, and I think we're going to see the kicking game from the French. They want to play it deep inside Kiwi territory. Oh, goodness me, I thought there was going to be an awful collision there, but finally Tony Kemp took it. Gary Mercer was pretty close to the action as well. Kemp has stayed down, as you can see, right near halfway, with Freeman playing it to Mercer. Mercer dumped just on halfway. Now Mann up to Todd, and knocked on by Brent Todd. He's annoyed with himself. Tony Kemp has gone back to fullback, so he's okay. So France have the put into the scrum just on their own side of halfway. Bernabé up to on top. Finally Peugeot, the fullback, Jean-Philippe Peugeot from Saint-Estève. There's Bernabé again. Once again, a good tackle made by Hugh McGann. One of the Frenchmen has dropped to the ground. The flag is up. Touch judge has gone in to have a few words. Darryl Williams spoken to. I didn't see anything there. Wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that.
I think Darryl came in and tackled him. Frenchman's all right now. He's up just like that. They got themselves a penalty. But I think the tactic's going to be straight away like we saw in the first tackle. They're going to kick it down, use this wind. We're going to have to be on our toes.
French coach Jacques Jorda is giving the instructions. You can't see him at the moment, but it was noticeable that Dumas turned and asked, "Shall I kick for goal?" He had to ask the coach. Ball's gone loose, and the Kiwis have it through Hugh McGann. So that attack has been repulsed, and now Hugh McGann plays it to Mann. Kurt Sorensen's had a good game.
Good run from Kurt.
Here comes Faimalo. That's the 10-metre line, so the Kiwis about 12 metres short of halfway, leading by 16 points to 14. Mann up to Todd. Good hands, but Leota, in fact, had the pass knocked away from him. Good solid tackle put on Francis Leota, and the pass, the intended pass to Kevin Ero, went astray. French winning the scrum. Dumas. Again, the ball goes loose. Good tackle made by Hugh McGann. Bell plays it. Now Freeman. Here comes Sorensen. Really coming into his own in this game now, Kurt Sorensen. Mann pops it up for Todd. Dumas struggling a little. And offside against France. There's Dumas there getting attention from the trainer. French caught offside. Kelly Shelford runs it up quickly, taps it. And no way in the world that the French had got back the required distance. Tony Kemp decides to tap it and go for a bit of a run. Handed up to Faimalo. Now Man. Again offside. Robin Whitfield is particularly vigilant in this area.
No, he doesn't let up.
Sorensen looking to tap it, just 10 metres short of the line. Lobs it across to Shelford. Now Bell. Darryl Williams. And the pass has gone astray. It's picked up by Pont. And Kemp just holding on and no more. Pont to play it. Kavastani. Flicked the pass.
This is where the French are dangerous when they're going forward like this.
Rabot, the prop forward, takes it up to 10 metres inside Kiwi territory. 16 points to 14. 5 minutes gone in the second half. This time the Kiwis offside. This time we might see a kick for goal by Dilmar. So the first 5 minutes gone in the second half. Kiwi certainly started better than what they did in the first spell.
Yeah, we're having good foundation work by our props and second rows, taking the ball up hard, but on third and fourth tackles we're making a few stupid mistakes, pushing the pass a little bit, and the Frenchmen are very good on our mistakes and capitalising quite well, and they're very good going forward. So we need to have a good set of six without any mistakes.
Kiwis led off. Gilles Dumar misses the kick. Wasn't too difficult. It was near centre field, about 35 metres out. He's missed the goal, so the Kiwis still lead by 16 points to 14. It's Gary Mercer as he gives it away to Darryl Williams. A restart from the quarter line. Bouncing down towards the fullback, Pouchot. Wayne Mann not able to lower him. It's a better tackle from Dwayne Mann. In underneath D-Bay. Plays it to Ontar. Oh, that's a solid hit. That was lost forward. Bringing it up was Boutignol. He was well and truly walloped in the tackle, lost it. And the Kiwis get the put into the scrum. Kiwis penalised this time for screwing the scrum around off the mark, and so Robin Whitfield in the first 7 minutes of the second half has handed out 6 or 7 penalties.
Surprised they didn't go for goal then with a strong win, but they have faith in their attack.
French captain number 2, Uratier. Now it's Ontar. Looking to find someone to run onto it. It's now Dumar. Philippe Forquet, the centre, to play it. Kedami. There's Burnham. He's dangerous. Tackle's made this time. Burnham stayed down. He's made a lot of play for the French. The loose forward, number 13. Good tackle by Faimalo on that occasion. On Rabot, the prop forward. Now Dumar. Once again, Dumar up to the hooker, Kedami. Last tackle, you can see Whitfield's arm extended. Dumar having a drop kick at goal, and it touched a hand, I take it.
He's ruling it touched on the Kiwis' hand, so it's going to be a dropout under the post.
That might have been the difference between the kick going over and not going over. It was just to the left, or to the right, in fact. And so maybe that was a fortuitous fingertip from a Kiwi. But the dropout now from the goal line. Darryl Williams' kick holding up in the wind.
That was a good drop out, that one, into the wind.
Philippe Fouquet, number 3. He'll play it to Gilles Dumas. Terry Burnhamby's okay again. Ball dropped. Kicked ahead. The Kiwis should recover it here through Tony Kemp. Kemp plays it to Mercer. Another good run by Gary Mercer. And it's been lost by the Kiwis in the tackle. Dumas across to Pont. Got it back in field nicely too. Crush. Here's the little halfback Ontar. Very dangerous with the ball in hand close to the line. Ontar playing it now to Dumas. And he can't get the pass through. Good all-enveloping tackle made by Hugh McGann, and also Dwayne Mann was there. Kiwis not out of it yet though. They have to keep making the tackles. Handed back to Deve. And he's lowered just a metre short. Worrying times again for the Kiwis. And no, he hasn't got the ball down. He got across the line and put it on a Kiwi body. It was Kadami, the hooker. And he's none too happy about the result of that, but it was quite obvious, I think, that he tried to get the ball over the line, but he landed it on a Kiwi body.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think if we get a replay there, you'll be able to see that he just about gets it down, but not quite enough. Robin Whitfield was right there. He was right on the spot. But then again, that's come again from another one of our mistakes. Once these French have the ball, they can't die with it. They just let it go all the time. So if we can cut our mistakes, it's going to nullify them.
So a real let-off there for the Kiwis. They still lead by 16 points to 14. 11 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Now Brent Todd. Kadami going a bit high there. Now Mann up to Marlow. It's lost again. Another mistake. Just exactly what Mark was saying. We've got to cut down the errors. Rabo to play it. Burnaby. What a good tackle made by Darryl Williams. That put the end to that movement. So Gary Freeman plays it. And away goes Gary Mercer. Just inside the Kiwi quarter line. Dean Bell has a run this time. Brent Todd looking for plenty of work.
There's 3 good drives there. We've made 30 yards.
Here's Leota this time. Runs quite high, Francis Leota. Carries the ball quite high. But he's been an effective runner on this tour. Kick this time from Kemp. Down towards the fullback Peugeot. Being quickly closed down by Shelford. So the Kiwis have run it out of trouble here. France just out from their own quarter line. Kiwis ahead by 16 points to 14. No points so far in the second half. Here's Burnaby. Tackle made on Philippe Fouquet. Burnaby again. He's been a good player, good hard-working loose forward. Here comes the kick. Dumas kicking under a lot of pressure. Kiwis will have to watch this doesn't bounce across the touchline. Now Kemp is able to keep it in the field of play. Good run again by Tony Kemp. Plays it quickly. Sorensen takes it out. Just on the French side of halfway, where Mann gives it away to Freeman. Now Bell. Here comes Marlow. Todd. Last tackle here for the Kiwis.
Probably see an up and under here, or a kick through from Gary or from Kelly. He's going to put the kick through. Good chase from Hugh McGann and Dean Bell. And Darryl and Dean Bell make the tackle.
Certainly Peugeot was rather friendless there. He didn't have too many teammates around him. Kiwis putting the French back 10 metres from their own line. 16 points to 14. 3 tries to 2. The run by Daniel Dive, one of the local players from Carcassonne. Here comes the kick again. Dumas slams it away down the centre. Sits up nicely for Kemp. Try and work something possibly here with Kevin Ero, but Ero stays out on the right. Kemp again makes ground. Played a fair bit of his Australian Rugby League for the Newcastle Knights at fullback as Tony Kemp. Dwayne Mann in his 6th test match today. Here's Sorensen. Plays it across to Shelford. Now Freeman. Dean Bell. Bell gets it away to Ero. Ero can't stay in the field of play. Managed to hook it back in field, but the touch judge was right there and said that he put the foot out. I think Kevin Ero really has got it over his opposite number down that right wing side.
Kevin's been playing well. He's played well, played strong in the first half. A couple of strong runs leading up to our tries. And he was unlucky then.
Here's Dumas calling Font in. Font looks pretty useful on attack. Not quite so good when it comes to the defending area. Oh, that was a good tackle. And guess who made it? Number 13, Hugh McGann again. Boy, he's getting through the work. Terry Boutignol, French prop forward from Avignon. Here's the kick again. Dumas heading down towards Ero, but it's bounced toward Kemp. Kemp looking for Ero. And away he goes. Look at this for a strong run. Takes it up to the 10-metre line this time. Now Freeman up to Faimalo. Kiwis might make another change shortly. Shelford. Kurt Sorensen. Mike Kawiti, number 17, is on the sideline, ready to come on as the Kiwis get a penalty. A big thrill for Mike Kawiti to get on in a test match.
He's been reserved for a while now, and he's on the field now. I don't know who's replacing. Sini Faimalo, I think.
Sini Faimalo is off. So Francis Leota will probably go to the front row, won't he?
Yeah, Francis has been playing prop for a few games, so he'll go into the front row, and Mike will go into the second row.
So Faimalo was off. Stewart has gone, remember. And Mike Kawiti comes on to play in his first test match. He's been one of the stars of the midweek team.
Been playing well midweek, and has deserved his place here today.
So Freeman hands it up. Got the return pass. Now McGann up to Kemp. Play on, says the referee. Kiwi's not too happy about that. Hugh McGann's going to have a word with Robin Whitfield. But the ruling was play on. And so the Kiwis are penalised. 16 points to 14. No points at all in the second half. And 18 minutes gone.
This game still really hasn't settled down. It's very, very scrappy affair. I haven't seen a game like this for a while.
Replacement on the field for France now, Yves Stora. Number 15 has arrived on the field. I think the man coming off is Boutignol. Yes, it is number 10, Terry Boutignol. So Stora is on. And France bursting back onto the attack inside the Kiwi quarter line. Balloon pass out to Dumas. Bernard once again. Very prominent in the game so far. Daniel Dive. Good solid tackling here by the Kiwis. That drove France back about 15 metres. Now on tar. Stora makes a good burst, pushes Kurt Sorensen out of the road. He's the new man on the field, so he should have plenty of energy. Now Dumas looking once again for Bernard.
Two opposites there. Kiwis right on top of him. He's their best player, number 13.
Another little kick and chase coming up. Gary Mercer waits. Oh, the bounce wasn't too good for him, but Kemp got a hold of it. Just managed to stay in the field of play. Kiwis with two replacement players on the field. The French have one so far. New Zealand lead by 16 points to 14. No points at all in the second half. We're halfway through that second spell as Mike Kiwiti gets an early touch. Number 17. Flicked away to Kurt Sorensen, running hard. Plays it to Mann, away to Freeman. Cross to Iro. Even Iro kicks it, it's still in the field of play. And the tackle made on the fullback, Peugeot, by Gary Freeman. Freeman in there again. This is Kabastani. Here's the new man, Stora. Freeman tackling well there. That's 3 in a row from Gary Freeman. Jean-Luc Rabot. Burnaby again. Ball bouncing loose. Lost forward. French looking to bring another man on the field. Guy Delaunay. Daniel Dive is off. Delaunay is on. Kiwis win possession from the scrum. Now Shelford across to Kemp. Another elusive run from Tony Kemp. Now McGann up to Kiwiti. Just on the Kiwi side of halfway, Dwayne Mann goes for a run. Taken out by McGann, now Freeman. Shelford. French coming up very flat. Shelford's made a good run here. Needs some support. Freeman was there. Good run by Kelly Shelford. 15 metres out from the quarter line. Lobbed out to Sorensen. Looks to offload. He does nicely to Leota. Francis Leota. He can't make the pass though. The Kiwis just starting to make the odd little gap as Freeman goes for the run. And this will be a handover. The Kiwis on the last tackle. Taken away by Kabastani.
That's the first time I've used a set of 6 there, which was good.
Once again, the French using the wind to good effect. Gilles Dumas, with the strong wind behind him, on the second tackle has slammed it away downfield, and the scrum to be set 5 metres out from the Kiwi quarter line. Good tactics.
Yeah, I think for the last 10-15 minutes, the game's been played in between both sides' 25s. And I think the next team that gets in the opposing team's 25 will go very close to scoring.
Mercer hands one man off. Across it goes to Bell. Dean Bell looking to link up there with Kevin Hero. Hero, in fact, will take it out. Gary Mercer right across from the left wing side. Now Bell. He's looking to move the ball a little wide now. Here's a good run coming from Kurt Sorensen. He's got support in field from Kevin Hero. Hero looking back for Kemp. Kemp over the top, gives it to Kawiti. And Kawiti is taken. But again, the burst set up by Sorensen. Ball comes loose. Here's Hero again, getting more involved in the play. Looking to slip the pass. Not able to do so. Now man to Freeman. McGann flips it up to Kawiti, but it was a forward pass.
Just as we get into that 25 there, we get pinged for a forward pass, but it was a good play there by the Kiwis.
French put into the scrum on Tar. Always missed Dumas altogether. And finally it was Pont who was able to recover. Good run by Rabot. So Terry Burnham-Bee, number 13, very much the man of the match from France's point of view. Here's one of the new men on the field, Guy Delaunay from Catalan. Another kick. This is a huge kick. And it sits up for Gary Mercer, who has to run it right out from near his own line. Good run again by Mercer. Kiwis have to be careful here. They still lead by 16 points to 14. Remember, we got right through the second half of the third test against Great Britain without any points. Here's Kevin Hero, who's looked so strong down that right wing side. Kiwis now 10 metres from halfway man. Up to Freeman. Long pass across to Sorensen. Now McGann pops it up nicely for Darryl Williams having a run. Williams can't transfer the pass. And it's going to be a scrum. Darryl Williams desperately trying to free the ball. Robin Whitfield had one look at the Frenchman and said, come on, let's get on with it. It's nothing serious. It's the odd gap starting to appear now, Mark.
There's a few gaps there. A few of the players are breaking through the gaps at the moment. As long as we capitalise on it, and still a few mistakes here in trying to push the pass.
Ball quickly in and out. Here's Dumas. Ball all over the place. No knock on there, says the referee. So Cyril Pont plays it now to Ontar. 16 points to 14. Just about 11 minutes to go, so still danger time for the Kiwis. They can't afford to allow the French in. Brent Todd's gone down. There's Burnham-Bee. Rabot takes it on. Dumas looking to kick, and he's straight through. And he couldn't make the pass back in field to Burnham-Bee. That would have been a try if he'd known he was there. 4K. And it's a turnover. The Kiwis let off the hook there as Kurt Sorensen takes it away. Well, that was a real let-off because Terry Burnham-Bee was steaming through, and I'm sure he would have scored the try. Kiwis running it across in front of their own goalpost. Here's Dean Bell away on a good run. And the Kiwis breathe again.
Very lucky there, very lucky. Like I say, the French got into the 25 then and broke straight through.
Here's Kevin Hero out of a few more before he's finally taken by Storup. Hero makes ground every time. Now man up to Brent Todd.
This game is far too close for comfort at the moment.
Man to Freeman. Gary Freeman, little kick and chase, straight to Kemp. And that was the last tackle, so it is the Kiwis have to hand it over. Quickly played by the French. They still have a chance in the match, no question about that. As Kabastani on the 10-metre line. Kiwis lead by 16 points to 14. No points at all in the second half. Burnham to play it. Rabot is taken. Not quite at halfway. Here's Dumas, who's kicked so well. He's kicked it out on the full this time. So the Kiwis again let off the hook. And it'll be a scrum. Just on 10 minutes left in the game. Kelly Shelford trying to wriggle his way through. Good run by Shelford. 5 metres on the French side of halfway. Now Freeman looking for someone to pass to. Finally finds McGann. Hugh McGann, good run. Gave it up to Mike Kiwiti. And Kiwiti flips it up to Mercer. And Gary Mercer across the touchline. But good work there by McGann, by Kiwiti. And Gary Mercer not able to keep in the field of play.
Yeah, that was just a plain run to the post and coming back down the blind. Hugh McGann put the ball onto Mike Kiwiti, Mike onto Gary Mercer.
So France back in possession, 15 metres out from their own line. Played it ahead, there was no marker there.
They certainly worry me when they have the ball. They look as though they can score from anywhere.
Dumas. Certainly running well, the French. 4K to play it. Dumas again. Kiwis will have to watch now for the big kick downfield. Tony Kemp has dropped a long way back, and here comes the kick. He's kicked well, has Shiel Dumas. Kemp has it. There's not a Frenchman within 50 metres of him at the moment. He's got Gary Mercer with him. Sells the dummy and away he goes, Tony Kemp. Now Freeman in support, looking to link up. But Gary Freeman going left had most of the support, unfortunately for him going right. Now Sorensen across to McGann. Kemp who started it, now Bell. Kiwis looking dangerous when they're in possession. Now Shelford up to Freeman again. Here's Francis Leota. Stumbles through a couple of tackles, slips it nicely. Man just not able to release it. Mercer goes in. Now Freeman again. Freeman. Gary Freeman up to Hugh McGann. And it's another forward pass. Another forward pass. Well, the Kiwis have been in for a couple. Hugh McGann looking for his 17th test try.
I'm not too sure what position the referee was in to judge that one. I'm pretty sure he was front on. It was a good ball.
So France back in possession through Ontar. Just over 6 minutes left in the game. Rabot. Once again the kick coming. Hacked away down the middle. Kemp again in good position. He's dangerous from this position. This time he can't get through the tackles. Plays it to Mercer. Mercer releases it across to Freeman. Here's Williams. Pops it up for Kiwis. Kiwis making good ground, flipped it back to Mann. 5 metres on the French side of halfway. Just over 5 minutes left in this game, 16 points to 14. Kiwis had to fight all the way. Todd to Freeman. Now Sorensen. Now Bell. Given Hero out of the tackle of Pont. Hero trying to drag him across the touchline. Now Freeman again. Sorensen coming wide. Kiwis. Lovely pass, but it's not taken by Kemp. Kiwis manages to recover. And it was ruled a knock on. So the Kiwis still have a bit to worry about. The French will have possession from the scrum. About 4 minutes left. Gary Freeman has caught this time. Daniel Frace to do the kicking. So now the Kiwis will have to make sure of all their tackles.
It's worrying time now here. 2 or 3 minutes to go. French got nothing to lose. Throw caution to the wind.
Good tackle made on 4K. So on tar. Now it's popped up to Rabot, the prop forward. And the ball's been lost and the Kiwis have it.
Lucky.
Well, they'll breathe a sigh of relief as Darryl Williams takes it downfield. Handed it up to Dean Bell. The tackle wasn't made. Bell still going. And so the Kiwis managed to extract themselves from that awkward situation well. Here's Gary Freeman. Shelford pops it out to McGann. McGann gets through. Finds Shelford, who also finds Freeman. 3 minutes left. 16 points to 14. No points at all in the second half. Very much the same as we saw at Central Park. Here's Kiwis, flipped it nicely to Kemp, and again Kemp has lost it. That's the second time in a couple of minutes that Kiwis has passed to Kemp, and Tony Kemp hasn't been able to hold it.
Probably about the only 2 little bad points on Tony's game. He's had a very good game today, Tony Kemp. Running the ball back very strongly. Very strongly.
Ontar takes it out. Dumas handled it well. Shelford and McGann there to make the tackle though. Kiwis will have to make sure of their tackles again here. And Kelly Shelford has ripped the ball away. What good play by Shelford. So now Sorensen. Kiwis could just about play out the 6 here. There's just under 2 minutes to go as Francis Leota charges ahead. Now Mann up to Todd. Brett Todd held just a couple of metres short of the line. Mann, now Freeman. Freeman looking for Kurt Sorensen. Sorensen gets a header steam up across to Bell. Bell going through, flicks it up to Edo, and another forward pass. I think that was a fair call. Certainly look forward from here.
That was forward. That was forward, definitely forward.
Running time is 39 minutes, so if Robin Whitfield sees it the same way as us. About a minute to go. France in possession inside the quarter line. is Kabastani. Time is virtually up as Dumar makes the kick. It's a long probing kick and it's a good one. So I wonder whether we'll have time for the scrum. Certainly time is up on our clock. Robin Whitfield is checking once again. 16 points to 14. Freeman feeds and makes sure that he hangs on to it.
All we have to do is play the 6 out here.
Again up to Gary Mercer. And there it is. There goes the final whistle. And the Kiwis, with no points at all in the second half, have held on to win by 16 points to 14. That was the half-time score. And not a totally convincing performance, Mark Elia.
No, not really. We probably, to be fair comment, say that we only played for about quarter of an hour of that game. But it's a test match, and a win's a win. And the boys will be disappointed, but they'll be happy to get away with a win here.
So the Kiwis have won the game by 16 points to 14. Remember that France rushed out to a 14-0 lead at one stage of the game, with Frace and Pont scoring tries, Dumar kicking 3 goals, and then in the second half, at least in the second part of that first half, Ero, Shelford and Freeman scored tries. Shelford kicked a couple of goals, and the Kiwis won the match finally by 16 points to 14. So that's the first test here in Carcassonne, the second in 2 weeks' time in Perpignan, as we leave you now from the Albert Domique Stadium in Carcassonne.
And our commentator at Carcassonne was Grant Nisbeth, with a little help from his friend Mark Elia. 30 points scored in the match, all coming in the first half, and now lead by 2 points for the Kiwis by 16 to 14 at half-time. The Kiwis just doing enough in the first half and doing plenty in the second to keep them out with the wind at their backs.
Yes, a big effort by the Kiwis. In fact, both sides, I think, to be congratulated. France really, as we said, Doug, their side not to be underestimated, and they showed with that flair they had in the first half, and they did very well. 3 forward passes to New Zealand. They bombed the tries, but when we go back, I think the match was won with that tackle of Gary Freeman's in the corner. Outstanding cover defence by the little halfback, because it was certain that the French forward would have scored, and that would have been the ball game. But tremendous effort, and a little bit scrappy at times, but still quite an entertaining game, and with no points in the second half, it just kept the tension there.
Now, one shouldn't sort out players, but I've been certainly most impressed over the tour so far by young Tony Kemp, the fullback.
Well, Tony Kemp, I think, has been struggling really to just find himself in that Kiwi side against Australia. He was swapped between centre and he didn't really sort of settle, but now that he's on a touring situation, and I think really his rightful place will be fullback, and I would say he'll be the New Zealand fullback for quite some time now. He's got lovely ball skills, he knows how to run, and he can also tackle, and he's just I think coming of age as a footballer, and I would expect big things. And as we said at half-time, Doug, he did play a big part in the second half. He made the timing runs into the back line and fielded the kicks downfield from France.
And no doubt disappointment for Hugh McGann. The record breaker was there.
Well, he almost had it, didn't he, underneath the post, and it would have been good to break the record, which is shared by Tommy Hadfield and Philip Orchard, but his time will come, and I'm pleased that Hugh McGann has won, because he's a tremendous ambassador for New Zealand, and I'm very pleased that he's got a test win under his belt.
Well, my thanks to Adam McLaughlin for his comments during this coverage of that first test match against France.